I'm Bea.
And I'm Sam.
And we're two best friends who like to talk shit about smut, wingspan,
and sometimes books.
Welcome to our author spotlight, where twice a month we sit down to talk about our favourite books.
Completely spoiler free and the perfect way to bump up that TBR.
Hello, and we need to say for this episode, happy spooky season.
Spooky, spooky, very spooky.
Oh, that was very cabaret.
It's some like shitty, I shouldn't say that, sorry. It's some like YouTube video that the kids watch, and it's like all like ghouls and ghosts dancing, and they sing a song about it being spooky, and that's the song from it, and it sticks in my head every Halloween. I'm like, spooky, spooky.
And also nearly my wedding anniversary, so happy wedding anniversary to me.
Nearly my birthday.
And nearly your birthday. How old are you? 52? This one?
Ha ha ha. 21.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Back to business.
So welcome to the second instalment of our author spotlight. We can't believe we're here already. Feels like it's only been a minute.
So this month for the author spotlight, I read Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider.
That's me silently screaming because we had heard about this book pre-author spotlight, right? Like everybody's talking about it. Like our bestie, we say bestie, someone that we're just obsessed with and doesn't really have a say in it, Caitlin's Romantasy.
You are our best friend.
You are our friend, Caitlin. She raves about this. We take her opinion like it's Bible. I feel like a Kardashian saying that, but Caitlin's opinion on books is Bible. Like, she's never proven us wrong. It's always like 10 out of 10 recommendations.
Yeah, she can do no wrong in my eyes. I might move to the US just to live with her.
Cool, I'll let her know.
Yeah, she won't mind.
I don't think she will. We had heard about this book through obviously all our like people that we love on BookTok and Bookstagram raving about this. So it was on our TBR anyway. Like, we had every intention of reading this and doing a main channel episode on it. Like, it was always on the cards for doing it. And then when we opened up these submissions and we saw the name that the Rachel Schneider had submitted this book for our author spotlight, we were like, Rachel, babe, like, we're big fans of you. So like, this is literally like,
screaming, crying, throwing up. Yeah,
literally. So when we put it into our little randomizer and saw that it was in October, the first month, we were like,
it's meant to be.
So we obviously at this current time in the world, you have read this and I haven't. It's on my TBR, very high on my TBR. I've just got some priorities I need to do, and it'll be Metal Slinger next. So I think probably by the time this episode comes out, it would have been confirmed in our business meetings that like we had every intention to do a main channel episode on this, and we will probably continue doing that anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Metal Slinger. So we're going to do it here on the main chat. Sorry, we're going to do it here on the author spotlight, like we remind you every week, every month, twice a month. They're spoiler free. So you can listen to this episode spoiler free. There's nothing in this episode that's going to ruin Metal Slinger for you. This is purely for you to get a recommendation for your TBR. And then when we do our weekly Wednesday episode on Metal Slinger, probably in the new year, obviously that will be our like, let's get into it deep dive episode.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rachel Schneider, she lives in South Louisiana. And her blurb about her is, I just love it. It's, I live in South Louisiana with my husband and daughter. I love curse words, crawfish, and all things romance. That's just perfect for me.
That's fucking amazing.
Like, I don't need any more than that, Rachel. I know you know from that little blurb.
We love a little quick rude blurb. It's like us. Yeah. Like, we talk shit about smut, wingspan, and sometimes books.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
Take us as we are or not at all.
And also mind your business, the Sam can't talk tonight. She's moving out.
Prosecco.
She's had a wine. She's moving out.
I'm stressed. But this isn't Rachel Schneider's first book.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, It's her first fantasy. So she's got 2 books. They're in the same series. The series is called Breaking Habits. Book 1 is Taking Mine, and book 2 is Forfeiting Decency, and they are both romance books. So Metal Slinger is the first in the Fire and Metal series. Book 2 is confirmed with no date. So, if we get a date, we will let you know. But yeah, first step into fantasy. So I'll quickly read the blurb. Bryn has spent the better part of her life waiting for the chance to attend the annual market hosted by the Kenta, the very same people who exiled the Alhara to live a life over the sea. A rite of passage for all young guards. She's not sure what to expect from it, but breaking a century-long peace treaty certainly isn't on her map. Neither is the encounter with an enemy soldier. Returning home to Alahar, she's confronted with the aftermath of the day's events. The future is uncertain as the threat of hunger looms over the people. With rumours of growing rebellion, Bryn and her closest friends promise to stick together. When an unexpected visitor arrives, but Bryn's loyalty will be tested as she learns of a world of magic and treachery. Once her enemy, always her enemy, right? But the dark knowing eyes of a stranger make her question everything. So this is another KU book. So it's on Kindle Unlimited. If you've got a subscription, we absolutely love that. You can also get the paperback on Amazon for £13.24 in British pounds sterling. I think it's really reasonable, and KU we absolutely love.
I treated myself to the paperback of this, and she's a beauty, I have to say. Like, the cover, stunning. She's sexy.
Yeah, she is. This story is told from the point of view of the main character, Bryn. So she has only ever known Alahar as her home. She doesn't know the rest of the world. So we see everything through her eyes, and we learn with her as she starts to learn more about the world that she lives in and the other territories. We're learning it with her. So it's not heavy on the world building. It's not an information dump, because we're learning in real time with her. So it's a really nice way to learn the map, the territories, and that sort of thing. So we start this story on a ship. So Bryn is part of a guard. She's part of the guard of Alahar, and once a year they're allowed to go to the Kenta market. So Kenta is a territory on land, and the Alahar used to live there. They were exiled like 100 years ago and told they weren't allowed to live on land anymore. So they sort of live in this like stone outcropping from the water. There's no land there. They just have like forged a home there. They call it the Grove, but there's nothing there. So that's all they've ever known. They've never seen land, but once a year they're allowed to this market. So when Bryn becomes of age, that she's about to graduate from like the trainees into the guard, the whole class is allowed to go to the Kenta market that year. So it starts with them on a boat being like overwhelmed that they're seeing land for the first time, because they're seeing the land on the horizon. They visit this market. This is all within the first chapter. We are literally thrown straight in. And a guard from Kenta accuses Bryn, our female main character, of stealing from the market. And everything kicks off. They all run back to their boats. There's a huge explosion. They all like run back to Alahar. And this peace treaty that is between the two nations is sort of up in arms now. They're saying, we're going to starve you out. Like, you can't come back to the market. You can't get food from us. Like, you're going to starve on your rock, basically.
Fuck.
So, yeah. So, Bryn has no family. They refer to her as an urchin. Her parents died. Her parents were fishmongers. So, on this island, you're either part of the guard and you fight for the island, you're a fishmonger and you catch fish, or you like run one of the stalls, sort of like selling clothes and helping out. You cook in the like communal kitchen or whatever. So everyone has a place on the island, basically. Her parents were fishmongers. They went out fishing and took her with them, and she was found just floating in the boat. Parents nowhere to be seen. So raised on her own, she has nobody there for her, but she is best friends with Kai, who is the guard's son. So he is like next in line to be the guard of the island and sort of the captain of the island. So he makes all the decisions. And I think that's all I want to tell you about the story, because the rest is plot twist after fucking plot twist. So in terms of tropes, we get enemies to lovers, and we also get lovers to enemies, which is a really, really interesting dynamic. I don't audibly gasp at books often, but there's something that happens at about 15%, and I gasped out loud. This took me for a fucking spin. The things that happen in this book are wild. It is very, very gory and gruesome with the fighting and sort of like how nasty things can get. But oh my god, the writing, the tension, the yearning, burning, the like almost kissed. Oh my god, stunning. And one really interesting thing about this world is the magic is tied to the land. So basically, when they exiled Alahar, they also exiled them from their magic, because there's no soil on this like outcropping of rocks. So they effectively don't have their magic anymore, because all your magic comes from being on the soil. They say that like Mother Nature has like imbued the soil, and they get their magic from the soil. So the magic varies. You have like oracles and like mind readers, you have healers, you have shifters, but like the sort of like creme de la creme of the magics are the elemental magic. So people who can wield light, fire, you know, control the waves, that sort of thing. They're seen as like the highest, like in terms of the magic. So this book, honestly, I can't say any more about it without giving anything away, because I really want it to like, it threw me literally. It literally spun me for a 180. So I want it to do the same for you and for the readers if they're gonna, for the listeners if they're gonna read. So I don't want to say any more than that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like we said at the beginning of the episode, anything that Caitlin recommends is always like a gold star, excellent recommendation, right? Like the only thing I'm ever hesitant about, Caitlin, if you're listening, is your recommendation of Zodiac Academy. That's the only one that the jury's still out on. We've yet to read it, but I just don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, but yeah, I knew this was going to be excellent. Like everybody is raving about it. It's literally got the same. I feel like we're in the early days of the similar type of like hype, and not in a bad way hype. Like that's not a negative term, but like on the same like ride that Quicksilver was on, because I feel like there's a lot of parallels here between like the Quicksilver ride and this. Like anybody, again, Sam can comment, but I feel like from what I know of this book and the way that people are going on about it, like this is the next Quicksilver.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more.
So do you want to do our quick fire questions?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, what was your favourite part about this book?
My favourite part about this book is finding out about people's magic, because it's not sort of something you can just look at somebody and tell what their magic is. Unless they show their magic and show what they can do, you wouldn't know, and some of them are really unexpected.
Ooh, okay. Did you race to the end, or was it more of a slow burn?
Race to the end, absolutely. I read 70% in one sitting.
Yeah, I know. You told me this, that it was that you absolutely. It was like you told me that you'd started it when I saw you once, and then I feel like over the course of like 24 hours, you were like, "Oh yeah, I'm done." Which scene in this book has stuck with you the most? Obviously, spoiler free.
So there's a really nice scene where the female main character, Bryn, goes out on the water in the night. And like Alahar is known for having like really bad storms and clouds and whatever, but all the clouds part and she just has this like view of all the stars, and they're all reflecting off the water, so she feels like she's swimming with the stars. And it's just created the most beautiful image in my mind.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Would you want to read another book by this author?
Absolutely. Give me book 2 now, Rachel.
Rachel could give you, like, not that she would, but a steaming hot pile of garbage on a plate, and you would eat it up, gobble it up.
Yum, yum.
Okay. What surprised you the most about this book?
What surprised? I would say the plot twists, because I thought I knew where this book was going. I was like, oh, I've got you sussed, Rachel. You can't fool me. I know exactly what's going to happen in this book. I can, I'll plot this out for you. And then the things that she throws in to sort of, throw you on a 180 is just wild.
Ooh, okay. How did your opinion of the book change as you read it?
I would say, without giving a spoiler, you sort of think one thing about somebody and, you think, oh, they're so hard done by. And then as the book goes on, your perceptions of people change. So I feel like I grew with the main character. As her perceptions changed, so did mine. I was heavily influenced by Bryn.
Good. How does the book's title work in relation to the book's contents?
So it's really interesting. I don't think this is a spoiler, but one of the characters, their magic is that they can control metal, and they can call metal to them. So, for example, they can throw a knife and, think of the target in their head and it'll find that target. But then they can also call it back. So the metal is almost like slinging out of like a tree or a person and coming straight back to their hand. So they are the Metal Slinger because they can throw and catch metal without it cutting them.
And then finally, did this book remind you of any other books?
So it did and it didn't. The world building, the magic was all really, really unique. Parts of the story very loosely gave me Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And I'm not comparing the two because they are so vastly different, but there's certain elements that I was like, oh my God, this is giving me Throne of Glass and I'm absolutely loving it.
Yeah, whenever we ask this question, that's never in a negative sense.
No, I never want to compare anything.
Yeah, it's just but the vibes, if you like this, then you'd love this kind of thing.
Yeah. So I would say if you like Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, you will like Metal Slinger. If you like The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle Jensen, you will like Metal Slinger.
Wow. 2 of our literally 5-star read series.
Yes.
And we're going to do a main channel episode on this, so we're not going to talk about ratings right now.
Yeah.
But it was a big read for you, wasn't it?
This is a bold statement. This could be my read of the year. That's how good it is. Honestly, when I tell you, books don't make me audibly gasp the way this book has. The plot twists that she has put in this book have thrown me. I'm like, how did you write this? How did you get these ideas? Because they are fucking wild.
I am gagged. This year has been, comparative to last year, this year has been an absolute knockout for authors that we've never read.
Yes.
First books coming in and blowing our socks off. For you, but obviously for you, Metal Slinger. For both of us, Quicksilver. When the Stars Alight by Camilla Andrew. We've had some bangers.
We have been really fortunate this year, just through our own TBRs and also from the recommendations of people across Instagram and TikTok. We've been really fortunate this year. We have read some absolutely amazing books. You need to read The Trials of the Sun King by Nisha Tully because, oh my fucking God, those books...
Again, another Caitlin recommendation. Caitlin's full-time job should just be that she recommends books to people.
Yeah, quit your job, Caitlin. I've got one for you.
We can't pay you. We'll pay you in vibes and,
I'll pay you in shout-outs on the podcast.
Stunning. So that was our second installment. And you said where you can find Metal Slinger, right? Amazon is everywhere. But yeah, so like we said, Sam said, you can find Rachel's book Metal Slinger on Amazon. Support indie. We love to see it. If you read this, we should have said this last episode, but if you start this after listening to this episode, please tag us. Please post and tag us on social media. Please slide into our DMs on any platform. Please message us. We always...
Please come and talk to us.
Come speak to us. We're so lonely. No, we're not, but... Tell us, because we want to know that these episodes are actually are they doing any, are they resonating? Are they doing anything?
Or are you just thinking, oh, I'm going to read what I want to read and I don't need recommendations from you? Tell us.
Yes, please do.
But we're not going to stop even if you don't like them, so.
Yeah. So that was our second instalment and the final October instalment of our author spotlight. We will be back the first Monday of November, which is Monday the 4th of November, with my author spotlight recommendation, which for the first episode in November is Once Charmed, Twice Cursed, a standalone fantasy romance we love to see. We love standalones. Every now and then we love it. And that's by Shailene Gandhi. So we will be back on the 4th of November to talk about that book, spoiler free, of course.
Woo!
Woo! Are we done?
Yeah. Happy Halloween!
Oh yeah, happy spooky season. Happy spooky season.